Well, if you are a financial advisor or life insurance agent who has been struggling to successfully implement an effective sales funnel to put appointments on your calendar on a regular basis, you're going to want to stick around for this week's episode of the Digital Advisor Weekly. All right, my name is Rob Souza with Advisor Marketing Hub, and we are flying solo today because my background staff that normally is here to run all of the digital content and behind the scenes is celebrating a wedding with two of my other VAs. So I'm going to navigate this solo today and help you build an effective sales funnels to convert leads into appointments, which tends to be the absolute most challenging proposition for any financial advisor or life insurance agent. So we're going to dive right in. So let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead. I'm going to screen share here for you. Hey, we actually got it. And I did it on my own. Marie, you'd be proud of me. Okay, here we go. We're jumping right now. Here's a traditional sales funnel most of us are looking at, and most of my clients have seen this over and over again. But the hard part is why are we struggling to actually implement each step of the process? Well, it's overwhelming, it's confusing, it's expensive, it's complicated, it takes time, all of those things, which we all get, right? But and by the way, if you're here and you're joining us today, whether you're a virtual assistant helping financial advisors, life insurance agents, or you're a actual advisor yourself, do me a favor and in the chat, I'll do my best today, but I'm dual tasking. But do put comments, valuable comments, or at least suggestions or questions in the chat, and I'll try and address those along the way. But let's dive in. Obviously, many people see a sales funnel, and I've even put the percentages in that if in a proper sales funnel, you do the math, if you want at the very bottom says 30, well, appointments, which is really what we want, right? And so there's percentages all the way down, and you can do the math on your own percentages. The biggest problem most advisors and life insurance agents have is that we're not putting enough people into the top of the funnel in order to create the number of appointments that we want at the bottom of the funnel. And what we put in at the top of the funnel needs to be a qualified, engaged lead. Of course, if you've had a bad email, they're not a qualified lead, then of course that's not going to count towards the percentages that we've put up. Now, we put in advertising a 1% conversion rate. That's typically like direct mail. So you're sending out direct mail pieces to invite them to a workshop or dinner seminar. And typically your response rate at best is going to be 1%. Now, if we do Facebook advertising, it could be better. We can narrow down the advertising, but most advisors, when they're first starting off, don't have enough of a budget to attract enough people where 1% and then do the math all the way down turns into, you know, 3 to 5 appointments per week. But the reality is the real number is 10,000. You have to put about 10,000 leads in to lead capture 2 to 3% of them. And then the most missing piece that we're going to talk about today, and that is lead nurture. Now, of course, if you don't have lead nurture, they stop. That's the plug in the funnel. They're not going to go any further. So the other thing is, and foundationally more important, which I call the upside down funnel, is that because I want to demonstrate the pieces that are valuable. And if you don't have an effective sales presentation, then what are you nurturing them into? And if you are trying to nurture them into a sales appointment, into a 15-minute phone call, you're going to struggle, because the essential piece is to nurture them with free value that qualifies what their interest is, then nurture and sell them on that qualified expressed interest, and then get them to a free educational sales event that teaches them all about the problem and teases all the potential solutions, unique solutions that you offer, so that at the end of that sales presentation, now finally they're ready to schedule an appointment. I call it the upside down funnel because I make it bigger as we go down because of its priority. Most people are missing the bottom 3 steps, or one of the bottom 3 steps. That's what we're going to talk about today. Hey, and if you are an AMH advisor or VA, you've done a fantastic job on the top half of the funnel. Now we've got to make sure, if we don't have those effective steps on the bottom end of the funnel, it's now time to step in and make sure your advisor sees this video today. Make sure, if they're not here, make sure you share the live recording with them so they understand, hey, we need to prioritize our time to give them a destination sales event. Your destination is an appointment. It's your calendar, but that's not their destination. Their destination is to go to some sort of educational piece event that is going to talk about why it is that your solutions solve their problem. Nurture is about developing the problem, talking about why it's a problem, why they should care about this problem, and then nurture them into going and attending some sort of educational sales event for them to take a look for free without pressure, to some sort of educational event, masterclass, webinar, workshop, dinner, seminar, doesn't matter, so that they, with no pressure, can attend an event where they can sit and soak up a bunch of free information without giving away your secret sauce, your strategy that you hold back for those who want to schedule an appointment afterwards. So you're giving away free information, but you're not giving all the information out. And it's super important because you want to be able to retain the right to use that to attract them to an appointment at the bottom of the funnel. Okay. So today, what we're going to talk about, to put all this together, you need to become a subject matter expert. So as a subject matter expert, you need to be able to attract, nurture, and convert. That's what we're talking about today. Over here, I can say content marketing. That's the attract. What do we do to attract people? So we're going to talk about that here in a second. I'm just going to check our comments here. Yes. Judy, absolutely. Yes. Effective nurturing significantly boosts, nurturing boosts conversions. So absolutely, Judy, you're absolutely right. Effective nurturing. Yep. Oop. I grabbed the wrong one. There it is. And Mary, you're absolutely right too. Clients naturally want to feel that they're gaining something from the event. That's right. So don't give away arbitrary knowledge that they could get just by Googling. If they can Google the information you're giving away in your sales presentation, they don't need your sales presentation. They just can go to Google on demand and find the solution that you're teaching. Teach something they haven't heard before. Absolutely. Well done. And yes, teasing Sue, teasing a unique solution to their problem. Great comments. Thank you guys for engaging. Okay, so jumping back to our screen share here, becoming a subject matter expert, first thing we have to do is attract. Okay, what do we attract them with? We call them lead magnets in marketing. And so what type of lead magnets? Well, you want to use a variety. The reason why you want to use a variety is because different people are interested in, have different problems, who are interested in different solutions and they have a preferred way of wanting to get the information. Some people want it in writing, some people want to watch a video, and some people want to attend an event. So you need to be able to offer is a variety of different subjects and lead magnets to attract a much wider audience. So here you can see this is a retirement plan 3D workbook that helps them determine how much they need to retire and how much income they need, and then we use the workbook to create a plan in order to get them to what they've determined is their needs. So this is a download or a white paper or workbook. You also, let's just say that you're a life insurance agent and you're talking about taxation. You could just simply grab something off of Amazon. I love Amazon because if a client submits a request for a book, you can either deliver an ebook, you can deliver a video audio book, or you can actually just purchase the book and free shipping straight to their house. You can see tax-free retirement, power of zero, tax-free income for life. There's all of these fantastic, great books. And you can add a personal note when you purchase this and put in your client's name and say that it's a gift. You can put in a personal note to them and then follow up, lead, nurture them once you attract them. So again, here's a landing page, or we call this a lead capture page. That's part of the attract process. So, and I just hit the wrong button. Here we go. So that's the attract. We're trying to attract them with as many, for instance, if you're hunting, do you just set up one snare, or do you go out and set up as many snares as possible and as many traps as possible and in as many places as possible? And are you trying to attract just one particular animal? Or if you're surviving in the wilderness, won't you take just about any animal? Well, just about any animal that walks through any of your traps. So I hate to put it as hunting, but unfortunately, the analogy does fit. We need to create bait and traps that bring in as many people by attracting them. So here's a lead capture page for one of the books I pulled off Amazon. So I'm just giving you examples. Here is a trailer for a 45-minute documentary. The trailer attracts them and then nurtures them into wanting to watch the full documentary. So there are films like this that you can pay licensing for and use these as lead magnets that finish with a call to action for a sales presentation. So the history of taxation from what is that? Fox Nation. It's another great lead magnet. You just have to get the rights to be able to use the episodes. There's, I think, 5 episodes of this particular trailer. But let's go back again. So those are all the different ways. There's a ton more. But don't think that a blog is a lead magnet. It's not. Because if people can find the same content that's on your blog anywhere else on the internet, it's not a lead magnet. You've got to give them something unique or give them something free that normally costs money. That's why Amazon, these all cost money. If they give you their name and email, you'll give it to them for free. That's something they can't get because it's not available for free online. Okay, so those are the different lead magnets. We're going to jump back to, we've talked about attract. So we've got to attract in many different ways as possible. If I create lead magnets for 3 different topics, let's say taxes, tax mitigation, estate planning, and maybe I do Social Security optimization. Maybe I do guaranteed income. Then I want lead magnets, 2 to 3 lead magnets for each subject, all with their own landing pages. And once I have that set up, it stays that way forever. And then all I'm going to do is drive traffic through social media and teaser videos to go and get that free lead magnet. That attracts them. Now we've got their name and email, and now we have to nurture them. The piece that most of us are missing is that we're not nurturing them based on their expressed interest. We're just nurturing everybody with the same emails and we're all saying schedule an appointment with me. That doesn't necessarily work. And my Garth, I love it. Going back to the hunting game. Not vermin. Okay. Love it, Garth. Keeping me entertained. Appreciate it very much. And yes, Judy, effective and compelling lead magnets significantly increase conversion rates. That's true. It's got to be a unique lead magnet. If everybody else is offering the same lead magnet and you can find it somewhere else, it's really not effective at all. And so we've constantly, by innovating and finding offers that maybe other people are offering it for a price and maybe you're offering it for free. Whatever the lead magnet is, make it unique. Something they feel like they cannot find anywhere else. Create FOMO, fear of missing out. Then they'll give their name and email to get that lead magnet. And then you can begin nurturing them based on that lead magnet. So have a follow-up series of emails that nurture them based on that topic. So here is an example that I just want to show that kind of just simplifies it a little bit. Okay, so if you, all of us, for the most part, have shopped for houses or apartments, renting or leasing, buying. When you go to an open house, do you get to just go and show up and walk through every model home? What do they make you do before you get access to the model home? Uh-oh, didn't work. Let's try it again. They actually make you first stop into the sales office. Now, you don't usually call it the sales office, but really it is the sales office. It's a real estate agent who is going to capture your information before they allow you to tour the model homes that you're interested in taking a look at. But what is the purpose of the gatekeeper that is required for you to shop the model homes? Because they want your contact information. Why? Because they want to nurture. They know that somebody's not going to walk through 3, 6 model homes and then walk back over to the sales office and submit a offer on one of those homes. It doesn't happen. Why? Because that's the top of the sales funnel. The whole point is we're all just kind of browsing. That's what we do on the internet. A lead magnet is just somebody browsing. But if these model homes, one is a 2-bedroom, 1-story, one is a 3-bedroom, 2-story, and one is a 5-bedroom, 2-story, based on as you exit the tour, you usually have to either do it with the agent or you have to go back through the sales office and they'll always ask you, did anything catch your interest? Oh yeah, the 5-bedroom, because it had a bigger yard and we have several dogs. So now that will determine what lead nurture series, because the lead nurture series is all going to be about the 5-bedroom house with the extra large yard. And so you're not going to bomb them with the same lead nurture as people who were interested in home number 1 or home number 2. Give them only lead nurture on only the information and the content that they expressed interested in the lead magnets, and then your lead nurtures are based on the expressed interest. So hopefully that makes sense. Most of us haven't taken the time to build those lead nurtures. It can be as simple as 3 lead nurture emails. And then what I usually do in automating the process is after 3 automated emails, then I'll do an internal notification to the seller, sales agent, to, hey, somebody who's just completed the 3 email series, they didn't schedule an appointment or follow up. So then I get a notification, hey, maybe this person is worth a phone call. Now, what it's doing is it's rinsing down and putting people on my calendar or giving me a list of people who are most engaged. If we sent 3 lead nurture emails and they don't open any of them, I, in my automation system, in any good CRM, we use Better Automate. You can automate the process if they do not open all 3 in 30 days. Would you want to call them? No. Lead score. And if you have somebody who opened all three, didn't click on the link to schedule, didn't make an appointment, but they opened all three emails, they'd be scored higher because every time they open an email, they get higher scores. If they clicked on an email and then clicked on your calendar and didn't follow through on actually scheduling, they get even a higher lead score. And that'll tell you the people after 30 days are worth picking up the phone and reaching out to. And it'll be a much, much smaller group of people that is very reasonable to reach out to personally, one-on-one, whether it's a one-on-one email, one-on-one DM through LinkedIn, or a actual phone call, which I think is the best, leaving a voicemail. Okay. So that's the process. Jumping back to the notes. Yep. Absolutely true, Garth. They don't want you taking your interest to a different agent. It's absolutely true. Consistent follow-up, Sue. Yes, absolutely true. Those who are more consistent will pick up significantly more business. Absolutely no question about it. The more persistent agents are the ones who will win. Azelphi Taylor, one of the top selling producers in America when he was in his 20s, literally was persistent by picking up the phone book and just going, making 100 calls a day, going through the phone book. And then when he finished the phone book, he went out into the neighborhood and started door knocking. And that wasn't very many years ago. And I'm sure none of us are interested in doing that. So this is your alternative, but you need to follow through with it. Set it up, automate the process. So we've talked about becoming a subject matter expert, because if you're not an expert and you don't have a unique solution, no, you're not going to attract people. You have to have a unique solution to a unique problem. If you don't, with a unique audience, if you don't, you won't attract people. And then nurture. We just talked about that. Make sure you have a lead capture page. Nurture them based on their topic and the problem they're trying to solve that teases your unique solutions. Don't give them away in the nurture process. Tease the solutions. And you don't want them to be able to research your solutions, and you don't want them to be able to take the information and implement it themselves. Finally, how do we convert them? Well, what we're trying to do is we're trying to invite them to a sales presentation about their expressed interest with your unique solution, which I should have added here in this graphic. That is the goal. And most of us do not have that digitized. We don't have that on demand. So creating a masterclass or webinar that is on demand, that we're nurturing people into, and of course, having a very strong call to action at the end of that sales presentation. If you think about it, one of the oldest industries as far as persuasive sales presentations is timeshares. And I know people feel different ways about timeshares, but timeshares are a great model for a presentation with a sales pitch at the end of the presentation. So your actual attracting people is vastly different than the sales presentation. So don't mistake the two. One is giving away free coaching. The other is setting up the problem, making sure they clearly agree with the problem, identify with the problem, express that they're interested in solving that problem. We live in a 2-bedroom house, and I now have 4 kids. And so I have to find a bigger house. Okay. Now we need to send them to a sales presentation that's all about affordable upsizing. How do you affordably upsize from a smaller home to a larger home in an unaffordable area like California? And that presentation could be recorded once, it can be put on demand, and it can be there forever. And you drive traffic that has expressed interest in upsizing. And in reverse, you could have a presentation about downsizing. And how do you downsize for retirement in a state like California? The more specific it is to their problem And the more unique your solution is to solve that problem, the more they will be interested at the end of that presentation to take you up on your call to action. And what is the call to action? It's to start that first one-on-one sales meeting. That's the whole goal. Convert is once we've nurtured them into a sales presentation, our goal is we want to, at the end of that sales presentation, perfect our ability to convert at least half of the room, 30 to 50%. I want you to hone your skills to get 50%. Our best advisors are doing 75 to 90% of everybody who attends those sales presentations. I would say digital on demand is lower than that, probably 30 to 50 instead of 50 to 70. So if you don't want to do live events, you want to automate this entire process, make it on demand forever, and constantly drive traffic to digitally online, then do a digital version, either a masterclass online. And then if you're looking for software to host it, you can check out betterautomate.com. We have a platform that allows life insurance agents and advisors to be able to put a pre-recorded masterclass or webinar on demand if they give us their name and their email, and we can track every step of this sales funnel process. Okay. So let's check questions before we wrap up things today. Yeah, you are absolutely right, Sheila. Follow up is everything. The advisors who relentlessly follow up always have a higher conversion rate, because certain people, you assume they're ghosting you, but in reality, we have life events. Wife gets a surgery, the dog gets sick, their work demands them to work overtime, and you may find takes them 3 months to get back to you. Don't give up. Keep following up. If they have expressed interest, keep nurturing, keep following up. And then let's see, inviting process. Yep. Yes, inviting them to presentations. If they sit there and watch your presentation for 30, 40 minutes, that's going to create a personal connection you're not going to get anywhere else, because they've sat and feel like they've had a conversation with you. And presentations highlight the value of what you offer. Absolutely. Lots of great comments. Some of these are from my staff who've been doing this for years with us and helping their advisors. Please make sure that you pass that on to your advisors. They need to understand these concepts. It's super important. So great feedback, comment. We've got a virtual assistant team from countries around the world that are available to help advisors put stuff like this in place. If you feel like you don't want to take the time to put something like this into place, or you don't have a team in your office to put something like this together, we do have a virtual assistant team that can put something like this together. We have out of the box lead magnets. Everything I showed you today is a lead magnet that we have available for our advisors. So if you want to check any of that out, go to advisormarketinghub.com and you can take a look at the resources that we have there. The three things I think that set us apart from, normally I have a slide up for this, but I'm flying solo today. But the three things that set us apart, I think, is not only that we offer a software similar to Salesforce or HubSpot, but we have built out over 100 financial snapshots, marketing, lead capture, movies, videos, online courses for advisors to duplicate and personalize. And then we have virtual assistants. If you're not wanting to spend time and don't have a marketing department, you can hire our team to implement for you. So that's what sets us apart. You may not need that. If you already have HubSpot, you're already familiar with this stuff, all I encourage you to do is take everything that we talked about today and just please, I'm begging you guys for the success of our industry, make sure that you have each of these pieces in place. Make sure that you're creating lead magnets for every topic that you solve. Drive it to a sales event that applies to that topic. Nurture them based on that topic, and learn how to do an effective close so that every presentation you give, 50% of them turn into appointments. If you're not getting those numbers, something's wrong, something's missing, something needs to be fixed. And if you would like to apply to have a private one-on-one conversation with me, you can go to schedulewithrob.com and answer the questions. And if you qualify, I will go ahead and schedule a 15-minute call with you to answer any obstacles or struggles or any missing pieces and help identify maybe what is the roadblock for you. And let's help you eliminate that so that you can get the statistics that we're listing here, because these are national averages based on thousands and thousands of advisors and events. So hopefully that's a helpful guide for you. Okay, well, thank you for everybody who attended today. Thanks for all the valuable feedback and questions. And join us if you want to be notified each week. You can go to digitaladvisorweekly.com, and you can register. And that also qualifies you for being eligible for those free one-on-one consultations. Feel free to sign up at digitaladvisorweekly.com. Thank you guys very much. Join us next week, 8 a.m. We'll see you then.